Ah, Saskatchewan, land of living skies, wheat fields that stretch to the horizon. And legal troubles? Yes, folks, even in the land of friendly faces and politeness, legal issues can rear their ugly heads. From family disputes to landlord-tenant squabbles, sometimes you need legal help. But what if you can't afford a lawyer who charges more per hour than a luxury car rental? That's where legal aid comes in, riding to the rescue like a knight in shining armor, or at least a paralegal on a rusty bicycle. Now I know what you're thinking. Legal aid? Sounds about as exciting as watching paint dry in a snowstorm. But hold on to your toques, because we're about to embark on a hilarious journey into the world of Saskatchewan legal aid. We'll be your comedic Sherpas, guiding you through the peaks of eligibility requirements and the valleys of application forms. And don't worry, we'll pack plenty of jokes along the way. Because when it comes to legal matters, a little laughter is sometimes the best medicine. Besides, actual legal advice from a qualified professional. So buckle up, Saskatchewan, and get ready to learn about legal aid in a way that's both informative and entertaining. Let's be honest, legal matters are about as much fun as a root canal performed by a badger with shaky paws. They're stressful, confusing, and often leave you feeling like you need a legal dictionary just to understand what the judge said. And the worst part? They can drain your bank account faster than a flock of seagulls descending on a drop bag of chips. This is where legal aid swoops in, cape billowing in the wind, or maybe just a slightly crumpled pamphlet. See, not everyone in this great province of ours is rolling in dough like a freshly baked Saskatoon berry pie. Some of us are more like the humble lentil, nutritious but not exactly flashy. And that's okay, because everyone, regardless of their financial status, deserves access to justice. Legal aid helps to level the playing field, ensuring that even those with shallower pockets can navigate the legal system without mortgaging their future. Imagine this. You're facing a legal issue that could have a major impact on your life. Maybe it's a custody battle or a dispute with your landlord or even a criminal charge. You're stressed, you're scared, and you have no idea where to turn. Then, like a beacon of hope in a sea of legal jargon, you discover legal aid. They listen to your concerns, explain your rights, and help you navigate the often confusing legal system. It's like having a knowledgeable friend who just happens to know a lot about the law and is willing to fight for you without charging an arm and a leg. All right, Saskatchewan, let's talk turkey, or should I say lentils, about who exactly qualifies for this legal life raft. Because sadly, it's not a free-for-all legal buffet where everyone gets a lawyer and a side of justice. There are, dare I say, first off, you need to be a resident of Saskatchewan. That means living here legally, not just passing through on your way to a curling bonspiel in Manitoba. Secondly, your legal issue needs to fall under the umbrella of what legal aid actually covers. Think family law, criminal law, some areas of civil law, the legal staples. And lastly, your income and assets need to be below a certain level. Now, let's delve deeper into this whole financial eligibility thing, shall we? Because this is where things can get a bit, shall we say, legal aid. Saskatchewan wants to know about your financial life in more detail than your nosy Aunt Mildred at a family reunion. They'll want to see your pay stubs, bank statements, tax returns, basically anything that proves you're not secretly funding a diamond-encrusted yurt in your backyard. But fear not, my financially challenged friends. This scrutiny is for a good cause. They're just trying to ensure that the limited resources available go to those who truly need them. So gather up your financial documents, my frugal comrades, and prepare to bare your financial soul to the good people at Legal Aid Saskatchewan. Just remember, honesty is the best policy, especially when it comes to your tax returns. Section 3. Beyond the bank statement, other factors that matter, because life's complicated, eh? Now, before you start stuffing your life savings under your mattress in a panic, keep in mind that income isn't the be-all and end-all of legal aid eligibility. Legal Aid Saskatchewan takes a holistic approach, considering other factors that might impact your ability to access justice. Do you have dependents hanging off you like a moose calf on its mama? Are you dealing with a disability that creates financial strain? Have you experienced extraordinary circumstances that have left your bank account emptier than a politician's promises? If so, Legal Aid Saskatchewan wants to know. They understand that life throws curveballs and they take these factors into account when assessing your eligibility, because everyone deserves a fair shot at justice, regardless of the hand life has dealt them. Section 1. Entering the legal labyrinth. Navigating the application process. Right then, you've determined you're not secretly a millionaire, you've got a legal issue juicier than a Saskatchewan berry pie contest gone wrong, and you're ready to apply for legal aid. But hold your horses, buckaroo, because navigating the application process can feel like trying to herd cats through a snowstorm. Firstly, you can't just waltz into Legal Aid Saskatchewan headquarters demanding a lawyer like you're ordering a double-double at Tim Hortons. You'll need an appointment. Think of it as a very important tea time with the gatekeepers of justice. You can book this rendezvous of legal destiny either online or via the mystical device known as a telephone. And don't worry, if technology isn't your forte, you can always pop into a legal aid office in person. Once you've secured your appointment, it's time to gather your paperwork. But fear not, my administratively challenged companions. We'll guide you through this paper chase in the next thrilling installment of our legal aid saga. Section 2. Gather your weapons of paperwork. Documents you'll need for your legal quest. Remember that mountain of paperwork I mentioned earlier? Well, prepare to climb it, my friend, because Legal Aid Saskatchewan wants to see it all. First on the list, identification, and not just any old ID will do. We're talking government-issued photo ID, like your driver's license or passport. Next up, income verification. This is where those pay stubs, tax returns, and bank statements you've been hoarding like precious artifacts come in handy. But wait, there's more. You'll also need documentation related to your legal issue. Just stick to the facts, Jack, and let the documents do the talking. Section 3. Phone a friend or a legal professional, seeking assistance with your application. Now, I know what you're thinking. This all sounds more complicated than assembling IKEA furniture after a 2-4 of Pilsner, and frankly, you're not wrong. But fear not, my legally challenged comrades, because you don't have to navigate this bureaucratic maze alone. Remember those helpful folks at Legal Aid Saskatchewan? Well, they're also there to help you with your application. Think of them as your legal Sherpas, guiding you through the treacherous peaks of forms and the winding valleys of eligibility requirements. You can call them, email them, or even meet with them in person. Appointments, remember? And if you're really feeling lost, there are other organizations in Saskatchewan that offer free legal information and assistance. Because everyone deserves access to justice, even if they can't quite figure out how to fill out a T1 general form. Section 4. The waiting game. What to expect after you hit submit. Spoiler, it's not a party. You've gathered your documents, filled out the forms, hopefully without spilling coffee on them, and submitted your application to Legal Aid Saskatchewan. You'd think it's time for a celebratory shot of Crown Royal, wouldn't you? Well, hold your horses, buckaroo, because now comes the hardest part, the waiting game. Legal Aid Saskatchewan will review your application with the meticulous precision of a gopher stashing its winter provisions. They'll assess your financial eligibility, the merits of your case, and whether your legal issue falls under their mandate. This, my friend, takes time. How much time, you ask? Well, that's the million-dollar question, or in this case, the legal aid-funded question. So what can you do while you wait? Well, you could try to relax, distract yourself with a good book or a Saskatchewan Rough Riders game, and trust that the wheels of justice, though slow, are eventually turning. Section 1. The art of not shooting yourself in the legal foot. Common mistakes to avoid. All right, Saskatchewan, we've arrived at the portion of our legal aid odyssey where we discuss the fine art of not being your own worst enemy. Because let's face it, when it comes to legal matters, even the most well-intentioned folks can trip over their own 2 feet like a baby moose on roller skates. One classic blunder is assuming you won't qualify for legal aid without even bothering to check. Oh, I make some money, you might say. I'm sure they'll laugh me out of the office. Well, hold on there, Mr. Moneybags. Remember those income thresholds we talked about? They're more flexible than a yoga instructor at a prairie dog convention. Don't count yourself out before you've even stepped into the ring. Another common pitfall is failing to provide all the necessary documents. Section 2. Honesty is the best policy, especially when dealing with legal aid. Don't be a fibber. Now let's talk about honesty, shall we? Because when it comes to legal matters, especially those involving government-funded assistance, honesty is not just the best policy, it's the only policy. Trying to pull a fast one on Legal Aid Saskatchewan is about as effective as trying to outrun a Canadian goose. They will catch you. They have ways. Those financial statements you think you can fudge? They've got auditors who can sniff out a discrepancy faster than a bloodhound on a scent trail. Remember, Legal Aid Saskatchewan isn't the enemy here. They're on your side, or at least they want to be. So, do yourself a favour, Saskatchewan. Leave the fibbing to the politicians and tell Legal Aid Saskatchewan the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Section 3. Patience, young grasshopper. Why rushing the process is about as useful as a screen door on a submarine. And finally, my friends, we arrive at the virtue of patience. We're a province of doers, of get-her-done attitudes. But when it comes to legal aid, patience is paramount. Remember that waiting game we talked about? Trying to rush the process is like herding cats through a car wash. It's just going to leave everyone frustrated and no closer to a resolution. Legal Aid Saskatchewan is dealing with many cases. Practice the art of patience. And there you have it, Saskatchewan. Section 1. Tying it all together. Legal aid, your friend, not a folktale. And there you have it, my fellow Saskatchewanians. We've journeyed together through the wild and wacky world of legal aid, from the dizzying heights of eligibility requirements to the perilous depths of application forms. We've laughed, we've learned, hopefully, and we've come to a profound realization. Legal aid is not some mythical creature whispered about in hushed tones around campfires. It's a real, tangible resource available to those who need it most. Think of Legal Aid Saskatchewan as that reliable friend, the one who always has your back, even when you're facing a legal predicament stickier than a spilled jar of honey. They might not have all the answers, but they'll listen patiently, offer sound advice, and fight tooth and nail to ensure you get a fair shake in the courtroom. Remember, accessing justice shouldn't feel like winning the lottery. Everyone, regardless of their bank account balance, deserves a fighting chance when it comes to legal matters. Whether you're facing a family feud that would make a curling team blush, a landlord-tenant dispute that's gone colder than a Saskatchewan winter, or any other legal conundrum life throws your way, remember that Legal Aid Saskatchewan is there to help. Section 2. Stay smart, stay informed, stay subscribed, because knowledge is power, eh? So, there you have it. You're now armed with more knowledge about Saskatchewan legal aid than a judge at a trivia night. Go forth and spread the word. Tell your friends, your neighbours, that friendly farmer down the road who always seems to be in some sort of legal tussle with a rogue combine. Knowledge, as they say, is power. And when it comes to navigating the legal system, a little knowledge can go a long way. But wait, there's more. Because as we here at Legal Aid Canada, we believe in empowering our viewers with the gift of information, and hopefully a chuckle or two along the way. So, if you enjoyed this hilarious yet informative journey through the world of Saskatchewan legal aid, do us a favour and hit that subscribe button. We promise subscribing to our channel is the smartest decision you'll make all week. Unless you count finally investing in a good pair of winter tyres, because seriously, Saskatchewan winters are no joke. Stay tuned for more deep dives into the quirky, the confusing and the downright hilarious aspects of life in Saskatchewan and beyond. Because let's face it, in this crazy world, we could all use a little more laughter, a little more knowledge, and a whole lot less legal trouble. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more informative and entertaining content. Stay smart, stay informed, and stay subscribed.